In this demonstration, we're going to look at several things you can do to increase the overall security of your enterprise's wireless network. Defaults may be easy to set, but they don't always provide the proper security needed from unwanted guests or hackers. Let's take a look at our first task, which is to change the admin username and password. When you open up a piece of wireless equipment and take it out of the box, it's usually pre-configured with a default username and password. The problem is a lot of administrators continue to use that default username and password without ever changing them. These usernames and passwords are widely documented and available on the internet. If you don't change them, you're leaving yourself wide open to exploitation. On a Cisco wireless LAN controller, they typically make you set a username and password when you first set up the device, but that isn't the case with all vendors. If we want to change or add a username and password, we can go to Management and then Local Management Users. Here you can see we have a user named Wireless Admin already set. Let's add a new user by clicking on New in the top right-hand corner. This will ask you to put in a username, a password, and then have you confirm the password. The access mode will determine which level of access you want to give it. In our case, we want read and write, but it's possible to give someone read-only access. Click Apply. Now we have a test-out user, and it's possible to log in as that user and delete the previous one if you want. The second thing we want to look at is reviewing our wireless LAN security settings. When I come over here to WLANs and select a wireless SSID, you can see settings regarding the wireless network. The Security tab defines which type of security is applied to this test-out WLAN. Currently, this is using WPA2 with AES encryption and PSK, which is a pre-shared key. These settings are typical even on home wireless networks or small businesses. If a radius server were defined, it would be set in the Security tab under Radius and then applied here to the AAA Servers tab. It can be Active Directory authenticated if it's set up with a network policy server. Now we have other options that can add complexity to our wireless network. Not only can we either authenticate with a pre-shared key or Radius server, we can also add MAC filtering on top of that. Since we don't have a Radius server, we're going to configure a pre-shared key with MAC filtering. This checkbox right here enables MAC filtering for the test-out SSID. Go ahead and click Apply after that checkbox is selected. Next, we need to go to Security and then MAC filtering. This will be a new addition to the list, so let's click New. Enter the MAC address of the wireless device you want to connect. Change the profile name to TestOut, since we only want this MAC address to connect to TestOut. It's possible to leave it on any WLAN if that's what you want. Descriptions can be useful for knowing which device this is. Interface is the network you plan on connecting to. Now, click Apply. Okay, our wireless device is ready to connect to the test-out SSID. Be mindful, other vendors may use a MAC block list or access control list to filter MAC addresses. The last thing we're going to take a look at is wireless protection policies. These settings help aid in protecting and monitoring security threats. Some manufacturers include wireless intrusion prevention, but with Cisco, this is a separate product that is not included in the wireless LAN controller. Since we're already in security, we just need to go to wireless protection policies. AP authentication offers a couple of protection types, such as AP authentication and management frame protection. We're going to leave it at management frame protection, which helps prevent frames against forgery and replay attacks. If we check out client exclusion policies, you can see everything is already enabled by default, such as IP theft or IP reuse. That means clients are excluded if the IP is already assigned to another device. Lastly, if you check out standard signatures, you can see the different types of signatures that will be reported in the logs. If an SNMP trap was set up with a monitoring server, this could alert you on these signatures. We want to make sure the management frame protection isn't optional for the test-out SSID, so let's go to WLANs, select the test-out SSID, and go to Advanced. You can see the MFP is optional, which we want to be required. Cisco makes notes for certain areas such as this one, where you see the number 4. If you look in the footnotes, it tells us that client MFP is not active unless WPA2 is configured. In our case, we are using WPA2, so this does apply. When we click the Apply button, it gives us the warning about the radio resetting and clients being disconnected. Click OK. always, when you're done configuring Cisco devices, you want to save your configuration to the flash. Otherwise, on reboot, the changes will be gone. Click Save Configuration and click OK. That's it for this demonstration. In this demonstration, we talked about some things you can do to increase the overall security of your enterprise's wireless network. We first looked at changing the admin username and password. We talked about making sure that your wireless LAN security settings are set properly. We looked at enabling MAC address filtering, and we talked about wireless protection policies and how they can be useful in preventing and monitoring security events.